The river Teterno flows with a narrow mountain gorge. Its color is umber green with 1,000 reflections. To let brightness in the rocky landscape in the thick of the forest. The edges of broom are sparkling up. The river flows in the depth of the cliff.
A small Roman bridge with its slight arch joins up the two sides. From here, a long track lost in mist of time. Forward, another ruined arch, a trunk that turned to heaven in a silent prayer, reminding who passed through. All those turned eyes to heaven in the last breath. Here go through the Punic army. The echo called the name of Hannibal and Fabius.
Dite, ubi mortus es, hic in aeternum vivas.
What? According to the legend, that's what Quintus Fabius Maximus Quintator said when his son Titus drowned here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It happened during the Senate Court.
That's why the river is called Titerno, just by the occupation of the two words, Tito and Eternum.
Here's the bridge. I know. In the past, it was the line of communication.
Exactly. The bridge connected Mount Atero with the Urbano one. Today the bridge is a bit different.
I wonder how many legends this river could tell us.
Come on guys, sit down and sing together.
Up to the Cigno mountain, there's a cave. In the cave, so many fairs there are. So graceful they are, as if they were dancing. they go down to the Ticino River. And they are marvelous, with fair, long hair. Down to the Ticino River, they fill their barrels. The water is bright, a long silver ribbon, and it is so fresh, oh, so much. With their barrels attached to a single hand. In Indian queue, they come back up. The fairs can look at the human beings. Azura, the prettiest fairy, has fallen in love with a cute shepherd. It will be a mess. It'll be a mess. Azura turns into an oak by now. Come up the mountain if you want to hear her. From inside the trunk, a low weeping.
Hannibal, the greatest leader of the history. He was born in Carthage in 247 BC. He promised his father eternal hatred against Rome. In 216 BC, he passed the Pyrenees. He crossed Gallia. He crossed the Alps with 20,000 soldiers and 37 elephants. And arrived in Urbano Mount Plain, near Cerreto. Here he sacked and destroyed. His main idea was that to reach Puglia, but Fabius Maximus, called the Conctator, with his army went ahead because he had a good knowledge of the territory, slowing down Hannibal's plans. Hannibal, with a stratagem, made a trick to him. In fact, the historian Polibio, in his Historias Book 3, tells us the famous episode of the oxen. At dead of night, Hannibal asked the soldiers to collect the oxen and tie on their horns lighted fagots. The oxen were pushed on using lances up to the mountain. The Roman soldiers changed them for panic soldiers and escaped up to the Urbano Mount. The passage was unguarded, and Hannibal, with his army, crossed undisturbed. Only the day after Fabius realized he was cheated very cleverly by Hannibal.